What is going on? Welcome to my first video in a very long time. Now, I've been sitting on this idea for a long time. I did make a YouTube Shorts video on this topic, but I thought I would do a longer video as well, just to outline some of the things. And today we're going to be talking about what is Xanax, what does Xanax feel like, stuff like that. Now, if you've watched my YouTube Shorts, you know that Xanax is a benzodiazepine drug, which means it helps you with anxiety and panic disorders. So Xanax can be used medically or recreationally. It really depends on how you use it. Usually recreationally, people will take higher doses to relieve their anxiety. Sometimes they'll even black out if they take too much. And when you black out, it's like your memory has just been sucked out and you have vivid pictures of what's happened, but you don't actually have the full story. It's actually very scary because you can do things that you wouldn't usually do and not remember it. There has been times when people will take too much Xanax, drive under the influence, crash their car, end up in jail, kill people, steal things. There's a lot of bad sides when you black out. It's not exactly a fun drug when you do black out, but some people end up blacking out, redosing, blacking out again, and then they become addicted physically and mentally. And the withdrawals physically can kill you. So be very careful. You need to taper off this drug if you do get physically addicted. All right, so let's say hypothetically you've taken a Xanax. Now, the effects will come on within about 15 minutes. You'll start to feel a little bit less anxious and probably a little bit more relaxed than usual. Now, as it kicks in more, sometimes if you take a high enough dose and you do black out, it will usually be within like an hour to an hour and a half after taking it. I remember that you could take the drug, start doing something, and then all of a sudden you wake up in bed the next day and you wonder, what the hell did you just do? The problem with this is once you black out, you've got a compulsion to redose. It's sort of like cocaine in a sense, because you just want to keep taking more and more if you have more. That's why some people wake up and go, who the hell stole my Xanax bars? Bro, no one stole them. You ate them all. That's the problem. I have had times where I've taken a high dose before I left the house, had some extra in my pocket. I was on my way to the pub, and I remember walking to the pub. I remember getting about halfway there. It was about a 20-minute walk, and then all of a sudden, bang, my memory's gone. And I wake up with less money in my wallet than I started with, because I've obviously gone to the pokies and the slots and gambled. And I also didn't have any Xanax left. So I must have ate them all while I was at the pub. This drug can be very, very dangerous, and unfortunately, it's too fun to lose your memory. I don't know why it's so much fun losing your memory, but there's just something about it that makes it a little bit too fun. I don't know why. Now, of course, don't take drugs. I'm just telling you, don't take drugs. I'm just giving you harm reduction information. If you want more proper information, go to my YouTube Shorts. But yes, this is just a little story breakdown on Xanax, sort of. Now, some people think you get a massive rush of euphoria with Xanax. I have a lot of anxiety, and it did feel good to get rid of my anxiety, but I wouldn't call it euphoria. It was more like just relief. Something that would be euphoric would be something like opioids, and I wouldn't really compare benzos to opioid euphoria. Because opioids is more just like an encompassing bliss where it's almost like you're in your mother's womb or wrapped in a warm blanket next to a fire on a very cold winter's night. It's totally different to a benzo. Also, if you're looking for a muscle relaxant, Xanax isn't exactly the greatest benzo for that. You're better off taking something like diazepam or Valium, because Xanax is more for panic disorder and anxiety disorders rather than something like Valium, which is more towards an all-round benzo, if that kind of makes sense. It's more for muscle spasms, anxiety, generalized anxiety, stuff like that. The reason Xanax and Valium are different mainly is due to their half-life. Valium lasts a lot longer than Xanax. Xanax has a really short half-life and a really short duration of action, which means it's very potent and it hits you quick, but it goes away very quick. That's also one of the reasons why Xanax is so addictive, because it hits you quick and it goes away quick. And Valium, for instance, is used for something like alcohol withdrawal because it lasts a lot longer and it can keep you more stable. Now, I have to agree, abusing Xanax is pretty stupid, but then again, when are any addicts really that rational? And the anxiety coming off Xanax makes you feel like you're in hell. It is honestly probably one of the worst withdrawals you can have from a drug. I mean, it's definitely up there with alcohol, benzos, GHB, fentanyl, all those type of stuff like opioids as well. But as I said, it can actually kill you, so it is one of the more dangerous withdrawals. But the catch-22 is it's really hard to overdose just on benzodiazepines by itself. If you're drinking alcohol with it, it's a lot easier, like your risk goes up substantially. Same with taking opioids or ketamine or GHB, those type of drugs as well. So you have to be really careful when you take Xanax not to black out and end up drinking alcohol or taking other drugs. As I have done in the past, let's just say it's very unsafe and I'm very lucky to be here still. I have got some serious stories about drugs in general. There are some that I'm not sure if I really want to share because they're really kind of depressing. But I mean, I can try and make light of it and, you know, give you guys some information at least and harm reduction, because I'm all about being safe with drugs. If you're going to use drugs, which you shouldn't use drugs, but if you are, you need the information to stay safe. And we really just need to stop demonizing drug use. The DARE program obviously didn't work back in the day. It's just not the way to approach drug use. Now, I feel like I do need to get a little bit better at storytelling because I need to work on that so I can really flesh out these stories and tell you what happened. The problem with most of my Xanax stories is I don't remember any of them because I take so much that I just black out. I have had a couple times where I took littler amounts and do remember it a little bit better, like sometimes, not many times, but yes. I'll try my best to do some stories, hopefully soon. I'll try and make more videos. The problem is I need to figure out how to do thumbnails. I made the thumbnail for this video probably 9 months ago, just on a website, and yeah, I decided to finally record the video almost a year later. I don't really know what else to say, but I am still trying to figure out the format for these videos, whether I'm gonna put live stream gameplay in the background, because I do live stream just about every day at the moment. So try catch me on Twitch or YouTube. Twitch is CDog22, YouTube is just the YouTube you're watching it on right now. I'm gonna try keep creating content as much as possible. As long as I have the time, I'll be doing it. Anyway, my final words are, do not use drugs. If you do so safely. Check out my YouTube shorts for the information on drugs. I'm going to make more of them soon, hopefully, on some more drugs that I have information on. Tell me your stories down below in the comments, whether you have drug stories about Xanax or anything else, or if you want me to talk about anything else, tell me down below. Don't use drugs unless consulting a doctor. If you need more information, check out Erowid or Psychonaut Wiki, or my YouTube shorts. Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed my first video in about 8 years or 9 years. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Hopefully you'll see me on the live stream. Goodbye, people.